Welcome back to another brand new episode, E on the mic. I'm your host E, and today we are doing our Week A predictions. So last week, almost going 11-3, but we went 10-4 last week, going into our total number of 64 and 44. Not too bad, not too shabby at all. Let's get it going. Baltimore and Tampa. Baltimore coming up from a great victory, even though almost collapsing against Cleveland, while Tampa's coming from a devastating loss to the Carolina Panthers, which was very questionable how Tampa lost that game, only coming out with 3 points. Now, of course, it doesn't help that Mike Evans did drop that passing touchdown. That could have been a touchdown in that game. Probably their only touchdown in the game, if we're being realistic. While Baltimore is coming off from the great first half, and of course, second half. So for some odd reason, Baltimore likes choking second half leads. I do not know why this season has been for Baltimore, but I know this game's at home for Tampa. I just don't like Tampa at all right now. Their momentum is not looking the same way, and they're below 500. I have to go with Baltimore here, even though we don't know about Mark Andrews' status there. Hopefully, Lamar Jackson has a better game than the Cleveland game. I feel he will, especially when you have Gus Edwards back and you also have Kenyon Drake as well, and two receiving cores there. Gotta love Baltimore in this situation. I feel Baltimore's defense also going to give it a ruckus to Tom Brady that day. So, give me Baltimore. Up next, Denver, Jacksonville. This is a London game, early game on ESPN Plus. This one's gonna be interesting. I feel this one's gonna be Jacksonville. Jacksonville will win this game. I really do feel Trevor Lawrence and that team, especially Travis Etienne, is the number one running back now. I do feel he'll have a great game there. Denver, I'm not really sold there. I feel they will trade somebody before the deadline. I feel, especially Judy up there, Chubb's up there, another receiver up there, KJ is up there as of right now for Denver. It's not looking great for Denver right now, and I know Ripen's the quarterback currently for Denver. I just I feel keep it close. I love the corner. I love Patrick Surtain. I really do feel I like Denver's defense. This is their offense. I do not trust at all. This will be close in London, but I'm gonna give it to Jacksonville there. I really gotta give the high hand to Trevor Lawrence and that Jacksonville Jaguars team, which they almost came back and beat the New York Giants. So give me Jacksonville. Minnesota, Arizona. Minnesota's coming off from their bye week, while Arizona's coming off from an impressive win over the Saints with D Hop return there. Two teams here. Minnesota's at home. As much as I want to say Arizona in this situation, I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with Minnesota there. They had a bye week, they have an extra week there. I know D Hop's helping the Arizona Cardinals right now. This is not a primetime game. I do like Minnesota just because it's not a primetime game. I really feel that Minnesota will give them their all against Arizona, which Arizona at times can struggle on offensively and defensively. As long as Kirk Cousins not throw any pick sixes, I like Minnesota in this situation right here to beat Arizona, and they will advance to go 6-1. Detroit, Miami. Detroit coming off of a devastating loss to the Dallas Cowboys last week, 24-6. While Miami's coming off from a close victory, their 16-10 came down to the wire, which that game should have never been close at all. I'm gonna go with Miami here, but do not sleep on Detroit's offense there. Yes, every time when Miami fans say this is gonna be an easy game, it's always gonna be tough. Look at Pittsburgh's game. Hopefully, Miami will have a healthy Emmanuel Ogbah back, and maybe we'll have some corners back as well. Because our O line, even though we don't have a healthy O line right now, protect Tua, Miley for Miami there. That's gonna be the main key there. Detroit doesn't have a great defense as well, so hopefully Miami can attack there. But in this situation right here, don't have too much complaints there. Give me Miami this situation right here. Dallas, Chicago. Dallas coming up from a great victory over Detroit, while Chicago's coming up from a great victory over the Patriots, which I don't think no one saw unless you were a Bears fan or you were just feeling lucky enough to say the Bears would beat the Patriots in Gillette Stadium. I'm going to go with Dallas, even though Chicago has been on a little momentum from that Patriots game, scoring 33 points, the most points they've had scored because they average 15 points a game. I like Dallas defense here a little more. I feel it's going to give a hectic for Justin Fields, especially in Jerry world. And I do feel that Cowboys offense is going to click right there. Ezekiel only getting two tutties last game. I'm going to say Pollard will have a tutty in that game as well. And CD will have a tutty in that game there. But don't sleep on Chicago's defense, though, because Chicago's defense will give havoc to that Dallas. Oh, I like Dallas' defense more than Chicago's. So give me Dallas in this situation right here. Raiders, Saints. Raiders coming off from a great victory over the Houston Texans, while the Saints coming from a devastating loss to the Arizona Cardinals. Two teams here below 500. New Orleans defense, I'm thriving a little more than the Raiders defense and their offense. I know it's gonna be New Orleans. Last time I picked New Orleans at their house, they lost to Seattle, and I'm not gonna go for that again. I'm gonna go for the Raiders here. I feel the Raiders. I feel like I've been liking the Raiders every time I do my selections. If anybody has noticed that, I've been liking the Raiders a little bit too much this year, but I'm gonna give them a chance here, just because I'm not really sure who's gonna be quarterback there for New Orleans. Is there gonna be a lot of pick sixes there? Don't know if it's gonna be Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, or who knows, even Taysom Hill may even start as well. While Las Vegas, I feel Derek Carr has starting to decrease his amounts of interceptions and more getting more touchdowns to his receivers like Devontae Adams. Josh Jacobs is on fire right now. I'm not really believing Alpha Kamara just yet for New Orleans. I feel Josh Jacobs has been on fire lately. I feel that continuation will continue for Las Vegas. Momentum getting closer and closer back to 500. So in this situation, give me the Raiders. Up next, the two NFC South teams here. Carolina coming off of a great victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, while Atlanta coming from a devastating loss against Cincinnati last week. Now I'm a fool for picking the Falcons last week against Cincinnati. Put I'll put that on me. That's all on me there. But in this situation, I still don't believe in Carolina either. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta. They'll go right back to 500, where they should have been, still 500. But you take a chance, and hey, you never know. I was right about the Washington pick, though. I was right about the Washington pick over Green Bay last week, so I'll take that to the bank. But in this situation right here, Atlanta's offense will bounce back. Drake London will get more than just 1.5 in your fantasy. No question about it. I like Atlanta's chances offense a little bit more. Their defense will bounce back against PJ Walker's offense, especially Chuba Hubbard may not even play in this game, so it's going to be interesting there. But give me Atlanta. Jets, New England. Once again, rivalry teams, AFC East. One coming off from a devastating loss to the Bears, while the Jets coming off of a 16-9 victory over the Denver Broncos. Big loss to them with Brees Hall out for the year, ACL out for the year, and a torn meniscus. Also, they did get a trade, getting James Robinson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully, you'll be a great beneficial there, especially the Jets having the momentum 5-2. New England is 3-4. I just feel it's still gonna be a tough game. I feel it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be in New York. If New England plays how they played last night, I'm not really gonna be favorable to them. They don't even know who the quarterback's gonna be, either Zappy, Mac Jones. That's a confusing situation there. While the Jets, I still feel with Sauce Gardner and that defense will keep New England from winning this game. So as much as I don't like to say it, I'm gonna say Jets will actually win against New England. Although this game's gonna be closer than expected, so it could go either or. But in this situation, give me the Jets. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Philadelphia still remains undefeated after their bye week, taking on Pittsburgh, who devastating loss last week to the Dolphins there. Could have got some interceptions for their defense, while Kenny Pickett has been throwing turnovers, 3 turnovers in the game with one tutty there. Careless mistakes with the ball there. I don't see Pittsburgh making the upset there, even though at some point Philadelphia will get upset at some point. I just don't think it's going to be Pittsburgh. I feel Kenny Pickett's going to be throwing too many turnovers against Philadelphia's defense, and Philadelphia will hold on to win, even though it might get a little bit closer near the end. But I'm going to say Philadelphia, this situation there. Houston, Tennessee. Houston coming up from a devastating loss to the Raiders, while the Titans are coming off of a great victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I've been hearing that Tannehill's on a boot right now as a current, so we may even see Malik Willis in this game here. I know it's a home game for Houston. This looks a little bit favorable. As of right now, I'm gonna go with the Titans. If Tannehill's still gonna play, even though Tennessee has some troubled times playing against Houston, they have some tough times. As of right now, I like the Titans here. I want to hear us go. I may change my pick. I may later on if I don't hear Tannehill starter, but I might just have to go with my gut, even with Malik Willis at quarterback, because you never know how he will do if he is the starter. Just gotta stay with my gut here. Like Tennessee, Not really favorable with Houston there, although they have a great running back. They hit it off with the Florida product. Love Pierce a lot there. So, but in other news, give me the Titans. Giants, Seattle. Giants coming up from a narrow victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars, while Seattle is coming up from a great victory over the Los Angeles Chargers. Seattle's offense has been productive as well. Kenneth Walker going off last week. DK Metcalf knocking on wood for his recovery there with his knee injury. Hopefully he's not as serious. He's gonna miss out on the surgery, so it has a positive side to it there. Marquise Godwin doing very well for Seattle, while the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley, doing his thing there is in New York. Daniel Jones coming on, great quarterback as well, and their defense. I think it's going to come down who has the better offense. Although Seattle's defense is starting to pick up a little bit, even though at some points Seattle's defense has looked horrendous at times. Like for example, the San Francisco game, the New Orleans game, Detroit game for a prime example. Those three games right there for a prime example. But sometimes Seattle's defenses keep it keep it locked there, especially against the Los Angeles Chargers for a prime example. I'm going to go with the home team here. I'm going to go with the upset. I think this is the time where New York is going to lose their second game of the year. I know it seems favorable to pick the New York Giants, and I've been very nice with them, but I feel Seattle, with their momentum, can actually be 5-3. I feel they can go 5-3 going into week 9. I really like that. I know Giants have been great, but at some point they will lose, and I feel they'll lose to the game like this against Seattle. So give me Seattle. Rams, 49ers. Rams coming off from their bye week, which they desperately needed to regroup that squad, while San Francisco coming from a devastating loss to the Kansas City Chiefs in at home. I just like San Francisco. Last time I picked the Rams, these last time these two teams met. I don't know if the Rams O-line is trustworthy right now. I feel San Francisco is healthy right now on defense again, and I'm not really sure if the Rams O-line can protect Stafford and if there can be a run game going for the Rams because they haven't had a run game at all this year. Not at all. Been targeting mostly Cooper Cup, Tyler Higbee, and barely even Allen Robinson. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to even watch this one. So I'm gonna go with the 49ers here. Go with the opponent that's been owning them in the regular season. Give me 49ers. Washington and the Colts. Washington coming from a great victory over the Green Bay Packers, while the Colts coming from a devastating loss to the Titans, and now Matt Ryan is benched for Sam. Not really good at trusting. Do I really trust in the Texas quarterback prospect? No, I'm not. I'm going to trust in that Washington's offense with Taylor Heineke, Scary Terry, Curtis Samuel, Brian Robertson, and Jahan Dotson. I'm going to trust in that Washington's offense and that defense, even though the defense is not as great as the Colts defense. But I'd rather trust that defense going against that Colts offensive line, and against those receivers. Give me Washington in this situation. They'll go back to 500. Buffalo, Green Bay. I don't have too much to explain here. I feel Buffalo will steamroll Green Bay the way how Green Bay's been playing the last few games. The New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Washington Commanders, 3 games they all lost to, and it's not looking pretty at all. And to go to Buffalo is not even going to be pretty enough for Aaron Rodgers and that Green Bay Packers, especially with a lot of miscues all from those 3 games. Especially they should have actually beaten the Giants there in London, but they choked that one there. The Jets won; they just got totally demolished. Washington, there are a lot of miscues there as well. Not really just in that, and especially Buffalo's coming off from a bye week. They're well rested. They're gonna show up at their house and they will win big, and it's gonna be a steamroll. Give me Buffalo. And our Monday Night Football game: Cleveland, Cincinnati. Another rival game here. I know Cleveland has been owning Cincinnati in the regular season. However, do I trust that defense, Cleveland's, to beat Cincinnati? I do not believe in that. I believe in Joe Burrow in this situation, even though that's not at their house, it's in Cleveland. Does Cleveland's offense gonna make it close? Yes, but I just don't think that Cleveland's defense is gonna step it up to keep them afloat there. Now, this could be a high scoring game, I feel. This could be a high scoring or it could be a blowout. One of those two ranges there. If I had to say the points here, and I've been very accurate, almost very accurate to the points, getting close. Cincinnati and Cleveland, just looking at those two teams there. we're gonna give it a good 46. But that's gonna do it here, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to this Week 8 predictions right here. So far, so good. Let's hope we get to double digits. As once again, if you want to do with me, as always, you can do run your pool, which will be linked in the bio right there. If you want to get into this jersey giveaway that I'm doing this whole entire year, from week 1 all the way through week 17 in all total. If you're in first, you get a chance to win your own jersey. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care now. Peace.